Welcome to another In-Wheel Time podcast, a 30-minute mini version of the In-Wheel Time Car Show. Welcome to the award-winning In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. Just ahead, our car story of the week. I think you're going to like this one. I know I do. The best game show around called Guess the Sold Car Price, and this week's recalls. Also, I'll give you my thoughts on driving the 2025 Chevy Suburban rolling home on wheels.
Neighborhood.
Jeff has the Motor Minute in this segment of the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show. It's a big 2-hour extravaganza. We hope you'll stay with us. Howdy, along with Mike out of this world, Mars. We always need more Jeff Zekin. I'm Don Armstrong. Thanks so much for joining us for our live show on this Saturday morning. It's the first full day of summer.
Yep.
And if you need a reminder, just open the front door.
Yeah, exactly.
At least around these parts. Well, we had a great time down in Granbury last week, and we had some great guests, and the one that stands out in my mind is the lady that had the Pontiac Firebird Trans Am.
Yeah.
White.
Yep.
And she was more fun than a barrel of monkeys.
Yep. No, it's not her only one. She's a hot rodder.
Well, she and her husband.
Yeah.
And it was a real treat to talk to her. We had a great time, and all was good. Did we go to dinner? We went on Friday night.
Yeah, we went
Friday night. We went Italian.
To Vito's.
Vito.
Yeah.
Corleone.
Got the 3-finger special. Yeah. Vito.
The 3-finger special.
3 fingers. Hey.
Forget
about it.
Anyway.
But it was good.
Yeah, it
good.
was.
Priced right. A lot of portions.
That's a 5-hour trip up there by car for us. So, and that's not lollygagging around
No, you
on
got
the
a
way.
couple of potty stops and snacks and,
Well, yeah, but what did that take? Maybe a total of
20 minutes,
10,
maybe?
Yeah, at the most. But anyway, we made it back and all is well. All right. I want to do our story of the week. Shall we get right to it?
Do it.
I think we should.
This is a story that has made the internet. You may or may not have read or heard about it. This particular one is from Automotive News, and it goes like this. How to amp up the most powerful Chevrolet Corvette ever? Electrify it by combining the Corvette ZR1's twin-turbo V8 with a hybrid E-Rays electrified all-wheel drive system. Chevy has stretched the performance chops of its flagship sports car even higher with the 2026 Corvette ZR1X. With 1,250 horsepower, Chevy says the ZR1X can speed past all other mid-engine 8th-generation Corvette variants from the jump, with estimated 0 to 60 mile-an-hour acceleration in less than 2 seconds.
Why?
2 seconds. Exactly. Why do you need that? And when would you ever use that? Except you were drag racing or something. The ZR1, which was revealed last year and had been Chevy's most powerful production Corvette, has a 0 to 60 time of 2.3 seconds. The two share a top speed, I'm sure it's governed, limited to 233 miles an hour, Chevy said. Gee whiz.
Well, I don't want it then.
The system's electric motor offers an additional 186 horsepower and 145 pound-feet of torque. That's in addition to. That's 26 more horsepower and 20 more pound-feet of torque than the E-Ray, and does not need to be plugged in to recharge.
Wow.
Instead, drawing regenerative power from the front drive unit. The front and rear propulsion systems are not connected, other than via computer, I'm sure. Drivers can use a Charge Plus button for greater endurance while lapping on a track, while Push to Pass delivers maximum power at once. A new Performance Traction Management Code, PTM, Pro, disables traction and stability control when driving on a track at the time that I would need it most. And with additional power comes enhanced brakes. The ZR1X will come standard with J59 braking, which is optional on the ZR1. That pairs Alcon 10-piston front calipers and 6-piston rear calipers with a 16.5-inch rotor in the front and rear.
I think the J stands for Jesus. You press the brake and go, Jesus.
Jesus. The ZR1X will be sold as a coupe or convertible An optional ZTK performance
Whatever that
package
means.
offers a firmer ride. A carbon aero package enables 1,200 pounds of downforce at maximum speed.
Let's just throw some letters in there we haven't used in a while.
The ZR1X also features Corvette's updated interior. Chevy says the ZR1X performance can compete against the likes of the 1,184 horsepower Ferrari F80 and the 1,258 horsepower McLaren W1. Production of the ZR1X will start this year at GM's assembly plant in Bowling Green. Pricing will be disclosed later.
Yeah, I was going to ask, well, how much?
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, a lot.
If you got to ask.
Now,
Exactly.
so you've got a little light bulb out in the interior. It's under warranty.
Mm-hmm.
You are going to take your car to the Chevy dealer that Don Armstrong used to work at and drop it off for them to change the light bulb.
And in 6 weeks, you'll get it back.
Yeah, no, that would be once you go and visit it at the junkyard because you've wrecked it in the parking lot.
Oh. I don't know what all that means, but that's okay.
It don't sound good.
No.
No, it's not because, you've got guys that drive the cars in and out of the
it's
service department, put them in the
It
parking lot.
doesn't happen very often.
You're going to have that car sitting in the parking lot for a couple of days while they order a bulb for it. So what do you think about that? What are your thoughts on that, Jeff?
I just think they're overthinking, they're over-designing. They want to one-up everything they've done. One department's trying to one-up the other, and then they're trying to one-up the manufacturer down the street. And pretty soon you got all this stuff piled in, and it's just too much.
Well,
it's just too much.
I think that this was probably talked about and planned when the car was still on the drawing board,
Yeah.
7, 8 years ago?
Yeah. If that,
Because they knew that they wanted to offer an electric version of it. They knew that they wanted to have an all-wheel drive version of it to be able to compete, because, they've got spies everywhere, to be able to compete with all of the top-notch supercars from Europe. And the only way to do that is to do it all-wheel drive, electrify it, but not have to plug it in.
Yep.
And I think
Regeneration of power.
it's pretty spectacular.
So they turned it into an F1 vehicle, F1 car.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Got to push to pass on it.
Yeah, push to pass, regeneration on the braking.
The other thing about it
hybrid.
is that it does retain the split window that also appears in the ZR1. Well, I
that's
mean,
another 2 mile an hour.
look,
Yeah.
you see it goes down the
I see
down
that.
the spine
Looks like
of the back window,
back of an alligator.
kind of. So Mars,
I'm not.
You
Feeling
know,
it.
I was thinking about a conversation I had with somebody recently about engineers. Engineers have got to engineer something. Sometimes you look at something, well, why did they do that? Well, it's because they were bored and they need to engineer something. So they
But I know
about
engineered
this.
something.
but you see, well, yeah, I do. I have a daughter that's anyway. I will tell you that probably came from somewhere within the racing bowels of corporate that said, we're going to sit around a table and we're going to think of ways that we can compete on a global scale with supercars.
Well, this just does not apply to the Corvette or this particular model. There are things developed for automotive that are derived from racing. Pirelli comes to mind. I work for Pirelli. Everything they did in the tire end of it for passenger car tires was developed in the racing side of it. So everything that they've done, the heat, the way the tires assembled, what kind of nylons, rayons, all that stuff, carbon fibers, are in the racing, and then that is applied to the passenger side. So I get it. I understand how they do it, but it's just too much all the time. You're just being inundated with all this new technology.
Well,
leave it alone for a minute.
Well, darn good and well, they're going to sell every one that they build.
Good for them if they do. I'm not buying any of it. No.
I'm thinking it's probably going to be $225.
Could be. Probably that. Yeah, $250,000.
But
Probably.
with a supercar that it competes against at, $4 million.
And if it was a Ford, in 3 weeks it'd be recalled.
Or before
True,
it.
you wouldn't have to worry about the warranty running out on it because it'd be recalled.
Yeah. And then you reapply the warranty to that, and the warranty to that. Yeah, I just don't get it. I think and who has the money nowadays for that? Who is their market? Who is their customer?
Those are the guys that go out and buy the brand new Lamborghini, the brand new Ferrari. That money is not an object.
They'll probably sell more on the European side of that than in the American side.
Perhaps.
Probably the Saudis and all the oil-rich countries will probably collect them.
Guys that have more money than they have water.
Yeah, they got more oil wells than we've got, bathrooms.
Yeah.
I've never been over there, but I've read stories about people that have been over there and seen these
opulence.
Sitting on the side of the road where they just parked it, or broke down, or it stopped, and they got out and they walked away from this $200,000 or $300,000 car. And
probably more along the lines of 2 or 3 million.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think they call the record for those, but they say Mercedes and stuff. Just park it, leave it on the side of the road. Somebody will get it.
Somebody will get it.
I can't even think of things like that. Doesn't even enter my mind.
No, I don't understand that at all.
It might be a little far-fetched, but I understand what Mike's saying is that it's not anything they worry about.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, can you imagine one of these showing up in the press fleet? I know one person in particular that would probably have it on its roof in a ditch.
Well, that's
so.
But what about insurance? Who's going to insure that thing? You going to call up your local State Farm guy?
Oh, no. It'd be somebody like Haggerty. They would say, sure, we'll be more than happy to.
If you can afford that car,
$5,000 a month,
you can afford the insurance.
Well, that's true, too.
And it'd probably be on a rider. You got my $10 million house covered, and you got my $10 million lake house covered, and you cover this $2 million car. Oh, sure. We'll just add on.
No problem, Mr. Mars. We got you covered.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's that thought, too.
Collision, liability, no, we're not going to mess with that crap. It's worth $10 million. That's what we're going to insure.
And how many drivers do you want us to put on that for you? You got your granddaughters, your wife. You got your, all the litany of people that you know.
All 5 wives, all,
there you go.
All the grandchildren.
Oh, there you go.
5 wet Mars. The truth's coming out
5
finally.
wives.
He's had 5 wives.
No, over there they have 5 at a time. That's what I really don't understand.
He's talking about, I understand.
I really don't understand
the harems they have over
there.
Yes. The harem.
So, I'm teased the fact that Richard Tomlin is going to be with us from Apex Auto Works, and he's a big road racing guy. I'm going to bring up a couple of points on this and see what he has to say.
2.2 seconds to go from here to there.
2 seconds. 2 seconds. Yeah.
Why don't they advertise a car? You can go from 0 to 60 in 3.5 minutes.
I had a car like that.
Yeah. That's the way cars should be built. That would slow everybody down, get them off that.
So in other words,
road raging on the road, and
so in other words, we could just get the riding mower out, run those up and down.
Horses and buggies.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I had a friend back when we were young teenagers. He got snuck out with his mom's 1960 four-door Chevrolet with a 6-cylinder slush box, 2-speed automatic. Took it out to the drag strip. He was not fast, but he was very consistent. And in the bracket races, everybody hated him. He'd be halfway down the track before anybody else could start.
I'm just looking, fellas. I don't have a plug for my commercial to your box. We did not set that up this morning.
Okay, well
pointing that out now.
If you will turn me off, I'll take care of that.
Okay, thank you, Mike.
Well, I didn't know we had turned you on, but okay.
It's been a long week.
Yeah, I guess so.
We have the cable mic.
So let's do. Well, we can't really do the Mars.
Well, give us just 2 minutes.
All right. So I'm going to do the recalls before we do the sold cars roundup. Okay, Mr. Mars, that's not going to fix the problem.
No.
No, but it's going to fix that problem.
Okay, you go to that. I'll go direct to you.
So here's what's going on as far as recalls are concerned. Honda is recalling 259,033 vehicles. These guys. 33 vehicles in the U.S. for incorrectly assembled brake pedals. Okay. The recalls for 184,000 23 and 24 Honda Pilots. Also involved are Acura MDXs and Acura TLXs. Only 1% of recall vehicles are estimated to have the defect. But you want to have a brake pedal, I will say. And not some, little spiky thing down there that had a pedal on it, but it fell off. Also, improperly installed fuel hose may leak on the Honda CR-V Hybrid. Okay, so it does have a gasoline motor in it, and it's not really a good thing to have the fuel hose improperly installed. 2025 model year. Engine oil leak may cause a fire. Ford Bronco Sport 2025 and the Ford Escape 2023 to 2025. Loose bolts on the front brake caliper of the Ford Explorer for 2025. That's a recall. Dodge Charger 24 to 25. Missing pedestrian warning sounds. I didn't know there was such a thing. Rear view camera image not displayed on the Chrysler Pacifica and the Voyager for 2023. And front exterior turn signals. I didn't know that they had interior turn signal. Whatever. The signals may fail on the Rivian R1S and the R1T for 2025. Okay, did you get your problem fixed there, Jeffrey?
I think we did.
All right.
A good combination effort, teamwork, all that stuff. We did that change in 3.2 minutes.
Okay. Well, I'm glad to hear that because we've rolled right past
The commercial.
We've rolled right past the sold cars roundup that we teased that we were going to do, but because of other extraneous factors, we're not going to be able to do that now.
Moving on.
Okay. Ready? I'm going to put this over here to the side because I'm going to try to get this going later on.
Okay.
All right. Just wanted to let you know that. All right. So it's time to take a break. Just ahead, a review of the 2025 Chevrolet Traveling Home, called a Suburban, and Jeff's Motor Minute. It's coming up right after this quick break.
The Tex-Mex dining experience is defined by Lupi Tortilla, your destination for Texas's best beef fajitas and frozen margaritas. Since 1983, Lupi Tortilla has served authentic and time-tested recipes made with the freshest ingredients. Atmosphere is part of the award-winning experience at Lupi Tortilla, all developed in a little house near Highway 6 and I-10 in West Houston. Visit any of the Lupi Tortillas and you'll see the same attention to detail in each and every location. Start your Lupi experience with queso flammeado and guacamole, along with a classic frozen margarita. Dine on famous Lupi beef and chicken fajitas, or pepper shrimp brochette, or a fish or vegetarian entree, and finish with a scrumptious flan for dessert. Find Lupi Tortilla in Houston, College Station, Beaumont, Austin, San Antonio, and Dallas-Fort Worth. There's a Texas location near you. The recipes are authentic and time-tested. The ingredients always fresh. Lupi Tortilla, he's pretty good. The NWell Time Car Talk Show thanks you for 14 wonderful years. Yep, our first show aired May 7th, 2011 on a local radio station. Then it was a move to the digital world and social media, and you followed. Thank you. We continue to build and grow our fan base, and it's all because of you and your auto enthusiast friends. We appreciate your support. It's always great to see you at our remote broadcasts, and we hope you'll continue to stop by and say hello. It's been a great ride, and we hope to bring you more fun and adventure right here on the In-Wheel Time Car Talk Show.
Well, the summer heat has us hiding inside the Sugar Shack studios for a while, so we invite you to join us for the live show every Saturday, 10 to noon Central Time, right here on InWheelTime.com, YouTube, and Facebook. All right, time now for the Motor Minute. Jeffrey has that.
Yeah, talk about theft from automobile manufacturers. Michigan police say Ford worker made millions stealing parts from the plant to sell on eBay in a years-long scam. Millions of dollars of brand new Ford's hoods, bumpers, and tail lights recently disappeared straight off the assembly line.
How do you put that in your pocket?
Listen up. Dearborn police cracked down on this. According to Fox 2 News in Detroit, a former Ford employee slipped parts out of the plant in Wayne, Dearborn, and Flat Rock over 2 years, then funneled the loot to a Detroit area auto shop sold on eBay. They executed a search warrant. The room was full, floor to ceiling, stacked with brand new auto parts, according to the police. The suspect and several associates are now in custody facing potential charges of grand theft auto, racketeering, and running a criminal enterprise.
Boy.
According to the police, the ex-employee removed factory fresh components during a shift and drove them to a third-party shop on West Chicago Street in Detroit, where they were sold online. Detectives believe that the parts listed online within days generated a payday for all the parties involved, until police stepped in and shut down the entire enterprise. You go, Perry Mason. Any item confirmed as stolen violates eBay's stolen property policy, which states the company will work with law enforcement in any attempts to sell stolen property on eBay. It's a permanent removal, offending all of the people involved. Now, the thing about this is that it was a 2-year investigation. The guy did it for 2 years. They've got them all in custody. Ford says if they come to find out that these parts are damaged, let's say they put them on a car. They sell them to you. You put them on your car and rebuild the car, and there's a problem with it. All warranties voided on that car. So Ford's taking steps, and they're doing their international investigations as well to find out if it's anywhere beyond the Detroit area in the factories.
Wow.
3 plants, stealing them right out of the box. Amazing.
George says profit margin.
Pardon me just a moment. Can I turn your microphone on?
Yeah, I forgot. George says that one piece at a time. It didn't cost a dime, so it's higher profit margins if you do it that way.
Well, there is
Good
that.
thinking, George. And you're part of the group.
I don't.
But that's it,
So how do you? Just back the truck up to the factory and say, we're going to send some bumpers over to George at the high theft auto.
Some of these plants are like Fort Knox security. How can you do that?
I don't know.
How can you do that?
It's probably a company truck that had Ford on the side of it.
Could have been. And who's got access in and out of the factory on a daily basis like that, after hours or whatnot? If it's after hours, it makes it even worse. So it's a criminal enterprise, racketeering and all that.
First of all, who thinks of stuff like that?
Bad people.
Oh, I'm going to go steal me 6 bumpers off of a whatever.
It starts with you taking paper clips and pencils out of the office, and then it leads to something else. And it
leads to bumpers.
Bumpers and hoods and taillights.
Nuts.
Yeah.
That's the way I look at it.
I mean, how do you put a F-250 bumper in your pants, down your leg of your pants?
Is that an F-250 bumper, or are you just glad to see me?
Time now for this hour's car review. Had a chance to drive the 2025 Chevrolet Suburban. You know what that is. Built in Arlington, Texas. There is a whole list that I forgot to put down here of trim levels. We had the top of the line, 4-wheel drive High Country. This is considered by your government as a standard SUV. They should have put in their standard big SUV.
Biggin.
Seats including the driver, and this one that we had, 7. I think that you can get, 8. If you have a second row, that is a bench, but ours had captain's chairs for the second row.
It had 4 buckets and a bench.
Yeah, in the back. Exterior changes from last model year. This vehicle was all new, completely redesigned in 2021, refreshed for this year, 2025. By the way, it grew exponentially in 2021.
Huge.
Yeah, huge. Exterior features, big, large, house-like vehicle with refreshed front fascia, slab sides with straight lines on it. To make it big, don't put any accoutrement on it other than some chrome here and there. Attractive big wheel design. I think this thing had 24s on it.
Wow.
Boom. 24s. Rear hatch, very attractive. We've seen the tail lights before, and I can't remember the vehicle. It was on a truck, and I think that they've brought them back because everybody liked them. Anyway, it's good looking. What I liked, the overall look is attractive, follows its predecessors. If you have something that's successful, don't mess it up.
Yep.
What could use improvement? Nothing. Interior highlights. 2 separate screens are blended, kind of one almost on top of the other. It works very well. It's a different kind of look, and it is not the same as the GMC, and I'll tell you about that in a couple of weeks. Central air duct at the bottom of the center stack, which was kind of unusual, but they did that with the Camaro, and somehow it worked. Our High Country had 2-tone brown and black interior. It was absolutely stunningly beautiful. Seating, very comfortable. Second row captain's chairs are great. Cargo, plenty of space even with the third row up. What I liked about it, the roominess. Yeah. What could use improvement? If you want more luxe than this, check out the GMC or the Cadillac. Goes down the same assembly line in Arlington, Texas.
Nice.
3-liter Duramax turbo diesel that turns out 305 horsepower with 495 pound-feet of torque through a 10-speed automatic transmission, 4-wheel drive. Tow rating, 7,900 pounds. So get your cabin cruiser, hook it to the back of the truck, and take it to the lake. As far as mileage is concerned, it is a diesel, and it didn't do too bad. 20 miles per gallon city, 24 highway for a combined of 22. I got 21.5 miles per gallon over 256.6 miles. What I liked about it, plenty of grunt with mileage. You remember correctly, Mars, when you had the old version of the thing with the V8 in it, 13 miles per gallon was good.
Yeah, I was happy with that, yeah.
Yeah, so they've come a long way. And that diesel, you can't even tell it's a diesel. It is super quiet. It runs no turbo lag. It runs like a real, honest-to-goodness, old-school V8. So I would suggest that if you're in the market for a big Suburban, check out that Duramax turbo diesel. All right. Ride and handling, well, the independent rear suspension makes for a smooth ride along with the air ride suspension on a Chevrolet.
Yeah.
It's an option. It's part of an option package. Get it. Whew, dreamy. What could use improvement? Nuttin', honey. Base trim price, $84,700. Now, this is the top of the line. Price is tested $92,220. So, Don, how much does it cost to get into a plain Jane, if there is such a thing, a plain Jane Suburban? $61,500.
Wow.
Well, hey, the average price across all makes and models of cars these days is $50,000.
Is that the 3-row for 61.5?
I think all the
Yeah.
Suburbans
All
are 3-row.
Yeah,
Okay.
they are. If you want
It's just
a
how you configure
2-row, you get you a Tahoe.
Okay.
Right.
Competitors: GMC Yukon XL, base $96,900, Ford Expedition Max $89,170, or the Wagoneer L. That's the long version of it. $79,535. But I don't think that Wagoneer can really compete as far as size is concerned. I assume that it's got. Have you ever driven one?
No, I've just seen them.
Yeah. Does it come with a Hemi?
No, I don't think so.
I would hope
no.
it would.
The
I think
Wagoneer?
it's that Hurricane 6.
Well,
I
now
think.
it is.
Yeah.
Because we don't know, because they just said that they're going to put bring the Hemi back.
In the Ram trucks.
Yeah, I know. Well,
Once you got it in the assembly area, then yeah.
I guess.
You know, I saw a blacked out Suburban this morning pass me. It's late model. It wasn't this brand new, and it was a couple of years old probably. And I thought, man, if we ever decide that we don't really want a truck, we want to go with a trailer instead, that would be the tow vehicle to have.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And remember, I've had 2 Suburbans in my life. And I will tell you that the third row seat, you had to dig it out of the back, literally, because it clicked in. And
Right.
the thing weighed a gajillion pounds if you didn't want the third row. Well, we never used the third row.
No.
So we put it in a big plastic bag and put it in the attic. And I don't know how I got it up there, but somehow I did. But, yeah, we sold it. Obviously, it had the third row.
Put it in the kitchen as a little, seating
A
area.
little extra seating.
Yeah, bolted to the floor.
Hey, if you'd like to get in touch with us, shoot us an email. The address here is info@inwheeltime.com. We are back after this quick break.
You own a car you love. Well, why not let Gulf Coast Auto Shield protect it? Houstonian John Gray invites you to his state-of-the-art facility to introduce you to his specialist team of auto enthusiasts. We promise you'll be impressed. Whether you're looking to massage your original paint to a like-new appearance, apply a ceramic coating, install a paint protection film, nano-ceramic window tint, or new windshield protection called ExoShield, Gulf Coast Auto Shield is where Houston's car people go. Curbed your wheels? Instead of buying new, why not have them repaired? How about a professionally installed radar detector? Gulf Coast Auto Shield does that too. Get a peek inside the shop and look at the services offered by getting online and heading to gcautoshield.com. Better yet, stop by their facility at 11275 South Sam Houston Tollway, just south of the Southwest Freeway, and get a personal tour. Gulf Coast Auto Shield is your place to go for all things exterior. Call them today, 832-930-5655 or gcautoshield.com. The award-winning In Wheel Time Car Talk Show now reaches 5.3 million folks each year. Check us out on InWheelTime.com, the Odyssey Radio app, YouTube, Facebook, and just about every other entertainment source out there, including our live broadcast every Saturday, 10 to noon Central Time. The In Wheel Time Car Talk Show has informative automotive guest interviews, new car reviews, along with popular features including Jeff's Car Culture, the latest new cars, cruise-ins, and racing dates. It's InWheelTime.com. Join us. That's it for this podcast episode of the In Wheel Time Car Show. I'm Don Armstrong, inviting you to join us for our live show every Saturday morning on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and our InWheelTime.com website. Podcasts are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeart Podcast, Podcast Addict, TuneIn, Pandora, and Amazon Music. Keep listening, and we'll see you soon.